class, I'm going to walk you through 04.09 Evaluacion Oral. This is a speaking assignment, so you will be recording a audio or video file. You can do this on your phone or on your computer, whatever is easiest for you. But I'm going to walk you through this oral assessment. So for this presentation, you will record an audio or a video speaking in complete sentences in Spanish. Your audio or video should include the grammar and vocabulary from the lessons. Using complete sentences in Spanish, describe your childhood. If you use a video, you can use images for support, but images are optional. Use the following steps to complete your description. So you're going to go down here, and it says review prior to beginning your assessment. So this is your rubric. This is how you will be graded. And you can open this up and you can see what you need in order to get full points. Okay. This is a large presentation. This is a very large part of your grade. It's worth 45 points, which is a very large chunk of your final grade. So it's very important to take this seriously and to complete it and try to do your best possible. So up here, if you want to get full points, which is 10 points in content presentation, you need to correctly use vocab words and expressions to describe 5 areas of childhood. Then down here, you need to make sure you're showing command of the Spanish language. Student uses correct conjugation of jugar in the imperfect tense, encantar in the imperfect tense, ser in the imperfect tense, and other regular and irregular verbs in the imperfect tense. And I'm going to show you how a guide that's going to help you with all of these requirements. Then your oral presentation. This is worth up to 25 points. The presentation is delivered fluently with clear attention to paid to the volume, tone of voice, rate of speech, and use of appropriate pauses. So a huge part of your presentation is just delivering it clearly. I am not expecting you to have perfect pronunciation, but I do need to be hearing that you are trying to use a Spanish accent, using the accents that the pronunciation you've learned in the lessons so far in your in-person classes in Spanish, as well as what you've learned in this course. So that's worth total points. You can also print this if you want to make sure you understand the rubric. Okay, the next is looking at a student example, and I'm going to show you that in just a minute, so I'm going to skip that part. And then check the template. So this is a template to help you go through the assignment, and I'm going to show you that in just a second. I created a guide that has both the template and the student example in it. Okay, so know the requirements for your presentation. Use the correct form of ser in the imperfect tense to describe yourself when you were younger. Use one regular or irregular verb in the imperfect tense to describe a fairy tale or a story from when you were young. Use the correct form of encantar in the imperfect tense to describe a song or music genre from when you were young. Use the correct form of the verb jugar in the imperfect tense to tell the audience a game or toy you played or used when you were young. Use one regular or irregular verb in the imperfect tense to describe a family tradition or a recurring special event from when you were young. You need to include at least 5 vocabulary words. Okay. Then finalize your oral presentation, and you can read through this in your own time. But the most important thing is that you make sure that you record clearly enough that I can hear it, and I can hear you speaking in the recording. And try your best to record in a quiet place so that your recording comes out as clear as possible. Okay, so if you're working through this assignment, the really 04.08 is 04.09 is just basically giving you the instructions. When you are done, you are going to go over to your materials and you're going to open up assignments. Hopefully it doesn't. I'm going to open it up without you on here so that you don't have to watch me navigate. Okay, so this is what 04.09 Evaluacion Oral looks like when you open it up in your assignments. So it has this whole section for Turnitin, assignment upload. This is really more specifically for writing assignments, which this is not a writing assignment. This is a speaking assignment. So really your requirement is to upload a audio or video file. Now, like I said, you can record this on your computer or your phone, whatever is easiest for you. When you are ready, you're going to submit an assignment. Okay, so how you do that is you can go right here to plagiarism check. Click that. Okay, so you are going to upload an assignment. Well, see, mine's looking different because of course. Okay, sorry, this is what yours is going to look like. I had to get into a student view so you could see what it looks like. So when you get in here, some of this is kind of confusing. It's giving you just directions. Upload your file to the Turnitin plagiarism checking by clicking this. This is right down here. Okay, and uploading your file. So you click this right here. And you scroll down to, and you click upload submission. And so you can put your title in there or it'll just stay untitled, but then you choose your file. You choose your file from your phone or your computer, wherever you downloaded it, saved it, and then you upload and review. And you can listen to it again and make sure that it sounds good. So make sure you review that before you fully submit. And so that's how you submit the assignment. And so I'm going to go out and I'm going to now show you what the guide looks like. So this is a guide I created to help you actually write your script. Again, this is not a writing assignment. So if you submit writing, you won't get, I will give you a point of 1 and tell you to watch this video so that you can understand the instructions and the requirements and then resubmit an audio or video file. So I'm going to post this document in your resources under materials in the course, and a link to this video will actually be here also. So when you get to this, you've got basically 5 sentences. This is what your final draft should look like. It's all got all the red marks because it's trying to edit it in English, not in Spanish. So you've got all of this 5 sentences that you need to create, and I've given you a template. So this is an example of what your final script would look like, and your script is what you would read in your audio or video file. Okay, so your directions are to use the correct form of ser in the imperfect tense to describe yourself when you were younger. So an example would be cuando era pequeña. Now, if you're a boy, you're going to say cuando era pequeño, yo era, and this is where you're going to describe yourself in Spanish. So when you were younger, what were you like? Okay, so you just add some, on this example down here, cuando era pequeña, yo era tímida. Okay, so when she was younger, when I was younger, I was really shy. Okay, so that's an example of what that sentence might look like. Your next requirement is use one regular or irregular verb. Use one regular or irregular verb in the imperfect tense to describe a fairy tale or a story from when you were young. So an example is you're going to talk about when you were young in the imperfect tense. I mean, what you read in the imperfect tense. And that looks like yo leía el cuento de. So when I was young, I read the story of, and you talk about the fairy tale or story from when you were younger. Your next requirement is, and again, down here, and I can also copy these example sentences into here so you can see what it might look like completely. Your version should not have similarities to this. I mean, it's fine to have some similarities, but you should not copy this example and use it as your script. That is not, it should be an original, a description of you. So an example of that sentence is yo leía right here. Yo leía el cuento. Oof, my computer's going crazy. All right, just forget it. It's being too difficult. Okay, yo leía el cuento de los tres cerditos. Okay, when I was younger, I read the story of the three pigs. Okay, so that is an example of that requirement. Your next requirement is use the correct form of encantar in the imperfect tense to describe a song or music genre from when you were young. So this is when you're going to use encantar. Very easily, you say me encantaba. Okay, me encantaba. Okay, so me encantaba, and you're talking about describing a song or music genre from when you were young. So an example of that is down here. Me encantaba escuchar merengue. Okay, and you can add whatever details about your favorite music when you were younger. Now, the next requirement is use the correct form of the verb jugar in the imperfect tense to tell the audience a game or toy you played or used when you were young. So an example would be yo siempre jugaba. Say, talk about, exactly what the requirement says. You're going to talk about a game or toy you played with when you were younger. An example here is yo siempre jugaba a la rayuela con mis primos. Okay. So if you, and you can insert your own details there, where you've got this blank here. Okay. So again, these need to be like original to you, specific to you and your real life. Okay, so your final requirement is to use one regular or irregular verb in the imperfect tense to describe a family tradition or a recurring special event from when you were young. So this this beginning of the sentence is pretty long, but it is a good thing to practice your Spanish. So, una tradición de las niñas de mi familia era. Okay, and that's when you're going to add your own details. If you've got brothers and sisters, or if you've got all cousins, like all of you are female and all of you are all your cousins are female, like it's just a very female dominated cousin family, then you would say niñas. But if you have male and female cousins, then you would say niños right there. Okay, so but this person in the example has all female cousins. So, una tradición de las niñas de mi familia, or like cousins and brothers and sisters. Cousins and sisters. Okay, so una tradición de las niñas de mi familia era participar en las bodas de las personas de mi familia. So it's a tradition of the kids in my family. We would participate in the weddings of family members. Okay, so that is very succinct, and you only need 5 sentences, very basic 5 sentences. So please don't try to write, an essay for your script. Try to stick with the requirements and keep it simple for your own sake, so that you can focus on the pronunciation and not on, trying to pronounce like 10, 20 sentences in Spanish. Okay, so that is your guide. I'm going to post that in the resources in the course. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Please send me. And you can also, I'm very happy if you want to send me your script and let me look it over and I'll give you feedback. I'm also very happy to do that before you record. And you can record a video or audio. If you're doing a video and you don't want to record your face, that's fine. But it needs to be your voice, nobody else's voice, and not a recording of somebody else's voice. All right. Well, if you have any questions, please let me know. Y'all have good luck.